Now, first, I want to start this video by distinguishing between what mental health problems are from what mental health disorder is. Alright, if you watched the previous video, you would see that I spoke a little bit about this, where I said that everybody goes through stress in life. Every single person goes through stress in life. It could be in the form of loss, it could be in the form of failure, and all of these actually contribute to your overall stress level, which could lead to eating disorders, anxiety, depression. It could lead to an array of mental illnesses. But the thing is that since everybody goes through stress, then everybody at some point has had mental health problems. Now, for the fact that you have mental health problems does not mean that you have a mental health disorder. For example, you wrote a professional exam and you failed. Now, the next few days and weeks, you'll be feeling very sad and down. You'll feel very, very probably even angry because probably you felt like you should have passed the exam. And so during the next days and weeks, you might not be completely mentally okay, but you're going through your daily emotions, you're going to work, or you're going to school, or you're talking to other people. But then after like days and weeks of it, you start feeling better. You're then able to figure out why you failed that exam. Maybe you figured out that, oh, you worked so hard, but you used the wrong resources. You discovered some other resources that have been proven to help students, and then you went through those resources and you found out that, oh yeah, I didn't know a lot of these things. I can see why I failed. Or probably you decide to be honest with yourself and say, yeah, I read, but I know deep down that I did not read as much as I needed to. Or it could just be like, yeah, I read and studied a lot, but I started late. If I started 3 months earlier, I would have passed this exam. You're then able to figure out the reason why, and then you start feeling better, and then you start preparing for the exam again, and then you take the exam and you probably pass. But what I'm trying to say is that everybody goes through issues that could lead to mental health problems, but that doesn't necessarily mean they have mental health illnesses. Now, when it becomes a mental health illness or a mental health disorder, is when you wrote an exam, you failed, you started feeling sad, you started feeling bad. Probably you're married, you have a job, or you're going to school, but then at this point, you're feeling sad and bad 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and the next thing you start skipping work, you stop going to school, you stop talking to anybody, you're not talking to your wife, you're not talking to your children, or when you do talk to them, it's angry remarks and angry comments and angry tones. You're always angry, and you also feel so bad inside. And instead of you trying to cope in a healthy way, probably by journaling, talking to someone about it, or by exercising, what you then start doing is taking alcohol in an unhealthy amount. So you're drinking a lot of alcohol, or you start taking drugs, or you start humanizing, sleeping around. You're doing things to make yourself feel better on the inside instead of you facing the problem that you're having and attacking that problem head on. Now, the quality of your life is decreasing because obviously it's affecting your relationships. Your marriage is going down, your relationship with your kids is going down, your relationship with your friends is going down. Also, it's affecting your job. You stop going to work, or it's affecting your grades because you stop going to school. It's affecting your finances because all you do is stay at home, drink, sleep, not wanting to see anybody, not wanting to talk to anybody, and you're not making money. So it's affecting your finances, affecting your relationships, affecting your life. The quality of your life is decreasing. Now that is when it becomes an illness or a disorder. So basically, it becomes a disorder when it starts affecting the quality of your life. So I hope you've understood the difference between mental health illness and mental health problems. Now, moving on, one thing that I think everybody would agree with me about, and this cuts across the whole world. It's worse in some countries, but it is a general problem. People tend to take physical illnesses much more seriously than mental illnesses, and that is a huge problem. For example, if somebody slipped and fell, then broke his leg, everybody, the father, the mother, the brother, the sister, even neighbor, they'll all rally around that person, carry that person to the hospital, even stay back to see how the person is doing. Like they will do everything and anything. Even when the person comes back from the hospital and probably has to stay at home for a while, people will bring money, bring food, bring clothes. Like they'll bring things to make that person feel better. But if somebody tells another person, oh, I feel down, I feel anxious, I feel depressed, yes, they will say, oh, I'm so sorry about it, you need to seek help. But that person will not get the same energy and the same amount of support that somebody else that has a physical illness would get. Yes, they will have support here and there, but it's not going to be in such a way that somebody that has an obvious physical illness would get. Now, like I said, it's worse in certain countries, and in some countries they're doing a whole lot better, like in the Western world. But in some other countries, they even attribute it to being too weak in your mind. But like, oh, you're too weak in your mind, or you're not strong mentally. No. So it's very, very, very important that we take mental illnesses, that anxiety, stress, depression, eating disorders, post-traumatic stress disorder, substance abuse. It's important that we take it very seriously. Now, sometimes during the course of all our classes, you'll be seeing me looking down, all right, because I've jotted certain things that is very, very important for me to share with you in all of these classes, all right? So I'm going to read to you from my phone statistics about the common forms of mental illnesses that has been found to be prevalent in the year 2024. All right, so we have anxiety disorder at a staggering 19.1%. Now, 19.1%, you might say, oh, 19.1%, that is a small amount. No, that is a very, very, very large amount of people in context that this world is full of billions and trillions of people. All right. And also, you have to note that these are reported cases. A lot of people don't go and seek for professional help, and that's why people will not be able to know the exact amount of people that are having a particular type of illness. But this is for reported cases. All right. Anxiety is 19.1%. Major depression is 8.3%. Post-traumatic stress disorder is 3.6%. Bipolar disorder is 2.8%. Borderline personality disorder is 1.4%. Eating disorder is 1.2%. Obsessive compulsive disorder is 1.2%. So it's very, very significant. Also, studies have shown that women are more likely to have depression and depression related disorders than men, while men are more likely to have substance abuse disorders and addictions than women. Now, both gender suffers from both type of illnesses. It's just when you're looking at which one is more prevalent, then you would say it's women have major depression more than men, while men have substance abuse disorder and addiction more than women. So that's just the statistics. Now, before we go straight into talking about the different techniques that you can use in cognitive behavioral therapy, there's something that is so important for you to have, that you need to have this thing before you start implementing this cognitive behavioral therapy techniques that I'm going to be teaching in this video. And it's called having a safety plan. So I'm going to talk about that safety plan in the next video. All right. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in my next video.